North Carolina versus South Carolina. It seems like a classic rivalry, but when you look closer, it's not really a fair fight. If you're thinking about moving south, you might think picking a side is a tough choice. But this isn't just about bragging rights. Making the wrong move means settling for less, a weaker job market, fewer opportunities, and a lifestyle that doesn't measure up. So in this video, we're showing you why North Carolina is the clear winner. We're breaking down the cost of living, the powerhouse job market, and what life is actually like in both states. By the end, you'll understand why so many people choose North Carolina over South Carolina for their home. First, let's talk about money, because this is where South Carolina's only argument lies, and it's not as strong as it looks. On paper, South Carolina appears cheaper. It's ranked the 20th least expensive state, while North Carolina is 27th. But that number doesn't tell the whole story, especially when you consider what you get for your money. Let's start with income tax. North Carolina has a simple, low, flat tax rate, which just dropped to 3.99% at the start of 2026. It's predictable and rewards ambition. South Carolina uses a progressive system that penalizes higher earners with rates climbing to 6.2% or more. If you plan on building a successful career, you'll keep more of your paycheck in North Carolina. Next is property tax, which is South Carolina's main selling point. Their effective rate is one of the lowest in the nation, around 0.55%, while North Carolina's is higher at 0.77%. On a $400,000 house, that difference seems appealing. But the biggest piece of the puzzle is housing, and this is a classic case of you get what you pay for. Yes, the median home price in Columbia, South Carolina is around $265,000, while in Raleigh, it's much higher at around $450,000. But a home in Raleigh is an investment in a dynamic, developing city, not just a house. Even in booming Greenville, South Carolina, the median price of $415,000 is barely less than in the international banking hub of Charlotte at over $425,000. For a negligible difference, you can live in a city with vastly more opportunities. Paying a bit more in North Carolina means buying into a stronger, more valuable market with higher potential for appreciation, and as we'll see, much higher earning potential to cover it. So for the cost of living, don't be fooled by the sticker price. When you factor in superior earning potential and long-term value, North Carolina's financial picture is far more attractive. A cheap place to live is worthless without a strong job market. This is where North Carolina completely leaves South Carolina behind. South Carolina has built a decent economy around manufacturing, with big names like BMW, Volvo, and Boeing. This has led to some job growth and an unemployment rate around 4.4% in late 2025. But North Carolina's economy is simply in a different league. It's bigger, more diverse, and built for the 21st century. By GDP, North Carolina's economy is 150% larger than South Carolina's. It's a national leader in high-paying, future-proof fields. You have Charlotte, the second biggest banking center in the entire country, behind only New York City. It's home to the Bank of America headquarters and massive hubs for Wells Fargo. Then you have the world-renowned Research Triangle Park surrounding Raleigh, a 7,000-acre campus that's a global hub for tech, biotech, and pharma, attracting giants like Google, Apple, Cisco, and IBM. This economic firepower translates directly to higher pay. The median household income in North Carolina is higher at around $71,000 compared to South Carolina's $68,000. But the gap is even wider than this overall average. While Charleston is an outlier, the major South Carolina cities of Greenville, Myrtle Beach, and Columbia average $73,000, $61,000, and $55,000 respectively, while Raleigh averages $86,000, Charlotte $81,000, and Wilmington $72,000. So for overall income and certainly career opportunities, North Carolina has a major advantage over South Carolina. Moving is stressful, especially if you don't know exactly where you're looking. Our team specializes in helping those relocate to North Carolina, so please don't hesitate to reach out, as we would love to help guide you through the process. Now, life is about more than work and money. It's about your weekends and your community, and when it comes to lifestyle, North Carolina generally has a lot more to offer. Geographically, both states are blessed with mountains and beaches, but the quality and variety of experiences are different. North Carolina offers the wild, dramatic Outer Banks along the more quiet, quaint beach towns around the Wilmington area, while South Carolina has resort towns like Myrtle Beach. The real gap is in the culture and the recreation. South Carolina's cultural scene is highly concentrated in Charleston. While lovely, it's one city. Beyond Charleston, South Carolina overall is very rural feeling, with no real major sports teams of its own, and it honestly relies heavily on Charlotte and North Carolina for major entertainment. North Carolina, however, has plenty of major entertainment between both Charlotte and Raleigh, as major concerts and acts always stop in at least one of these cities, if not both, and between both cities, the NFL, NHL, NBA, and NASCAR are all pretty well represented. This advantage is even clearer in parks and recreation. North Carolina has invested heavily in creating exceptional public spaces. The state itself has over 160,000 acres of parks compared to South Carolina's 90,000 acres. And it has a great variety of mountainous areas, plenty of freshwater lakes, and coastal-style parks like Jockey's Ridge. While South Carolina has natural beauty around its shorelines and the western portion in the mountains, it's overall much more flat and rural feeling in general as a whole in comparison to the heavily wooded and rolling hills of North Carolina. For sheer variety and quality of life, North Carolina as a whole offers a lot more. The numbers don't lie. People are choosing North Carolina. It's a sign of where the future is headed. First, the scale is completely different. North Carolina's population is over 11 million, double South Carolina's 5.5 million. More importantly, North Carolina is one of the fastest growing states in America, projected to become the 7th most populated state by the early 2030s, surpassing states like Georgia and Ohio. That kind of mass migration is a clear vote of confidence. Urban areas are growing fast, which comes with great opportunity and entertainment options, but doesn't come without growing pains of construction and increased traffic. South Carolina is also growing rapidly for its size, but lacks a major big city feel like Raleigh and Charlotte. And South Carolina provides plenty of opportunities for those who like to sprawl out on lots of land, but you generally will have to be okay with being further away from any major cities or towns. So while there are certainly some pockets of South Carolina that are great places to live, North Carolina provides so much more variety, entertainment, and opportunity in comparison to South Carolina. Whether you're a family, young professional, or a retiree, you'll find that North Carolina will provide you with everything that you want. We also have videos comparing Raleigh with other cities, including Charlotte. And if you want to learn more about Raleigh itself, we have plenty of videos breaking down the area. Thank you for watching.